Bismillah wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. As every first Jumu'ah of every first Jumu'ah of the month, we'll talk about the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Just before to begin, what is the purpose to know Allah? What is the purpose to talk about the names of Allah? Is the lack of knowledge that we have of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that there's the lack of knowledge that we have of Allah sometimes make us like in a difficulty. Like we have difficulty to pray, we have difficulty to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When we read Quran, it's hard for us. We don't feel something. It's hard for us to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the time you learn the names of Allah, if we take the example, Allah, His name is Al-Wadud, the loving, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have more mercy on you, than your father, than your spouse, than everybody else, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves you more than anybody. If you understand this, when you learn this name and you understand deeply, there will be no difficulty to obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and try to please Allah. Some people is difficult. Some sisters is difficult for her to wear hijab. They don't know, say no, it's hard for me. Like everybody don't wear it, and me I will wear it, and people will start laughing at me. But when you know that you're doing this for Allah Rabbul Alameen, the Lord of the heavens and the earth, you'll feel no remorse after. You'll do it, and it will not be hard for you. After, when you know Allah, it's not when you will know Allah, the loving you, it will not be difficult to stand up at night and pray for Fajr. Some people have difficulty to wake up for Fajr, but when you know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all these things will be easy. And today we'll talk about the name of Allah, Al-fattah. Al-fattah is the one that He opened doors for His servant, give opportunity, find a way, find a solutions when there is no solutions. He's the one who opens, because He have all the keys. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have give us many examples in the Quran. Like for example, Zakaria alayhi salam, when he said, قال رب إني وهن العظم مني واشتعل الرأس شيبا وَلَمْ أَكُمْ بِدُعَائِكَ رَبِّ شَقِيًّا. He said, oh Lord, I'm old. He wants a child. He's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 100 years. That's what the scholar says. 100 years he's asking for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he said, Ya Allah, I'm old. I want a child. And I never been deceived by the answer of your dua. Please Allah, I want a child. After he said that his wife also, his wife is he can't, like, she can't have child, so she for my wife is barren. He said, وإني خفت الموالي من ورائي وكانت امرأتي عاقرا فهب لي من لدنك وليا. I fear what my king's name will do when I'm gone, for my wife is barren, so grant me a successor. After Allah say, يا زكريا إنا نبشرك بغلام اسمه يحيى لم نجعل له من قبل سميا. He said, oh Zakaria, we have a good news for you. We have given you a child that his name is Yahya, and we have chosen this name for no one before him. After Zakaria alayhi salam said, قال رب أنا يكون لي غلام وكانت امرأتي عاقرا وقد بلغت من الكبر عتيا. He said, Lord, how can I have a son when my wife is barren and I'm old and frail? So Allah, after Allah says, قال كذلك قال ربك هو علي هين وقد خلقتك من قبل ولم تك شيئا. He said, this is what your Lord has said. It is easy for me. I created you, thus you were nothing before. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us that everything is easy for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The thing that the word impossible is only for us. But when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can, and we ask sincerely and we have good thought of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He can make the thing that we see impossible, He can make it possible. And there's also a surah. The surah is named Surah Al-Fattah. This surah was revealed because of the treatment of Hudaybiyah. When the Prophet ﷺ did a dream and he saw himself doing Umrah. So when the Prophet do a dream, it's like a revelation. So he went to do Umrah in Mecca when they was at Medina, and when they come there, the mushrikeen of Quraysh, the people of Quraysh didn't let them do the Umrah, but they did an agreement. The agreement that they will come next year to do the Umrah, and if a Muslim go to Medina, they have to send him back to Mecca. If he go to Medina to reach his Muslim brother, they have to bring him back to Medina. But if someone come to come to Medina, they can do nothing. So the Sahaba was angry about this. They said, we come to do Umrah and we can't afford our Umrah. And we signed a contract and we don't see nothing good of this contract. But they have something was good in this contract, that there will be no more war between them. So the Muslim was not much more worries about the war, like they were safe. And after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed in Surah Al-Fath, إِنَّا فَتَحْنَا عَلَيْكَ فَتْحًا مُبِينًا. Today we have opened up a path to clear triumph for you, O Prophet. So the companions ask, how can this be a victory? How can be this an opening? Like, we don't see the opening. But the fact that there will be no more war between Quraysh and the Muslims, between the mushrikeen, like it was an opening door for da'wah. They did da'wah to other tribes. In the beginning, in the contract, there was about 1,500 Muslim. But after 1 year and a half, subhanallah, there was 10,000 Muslims. So that was the result. That was the opening. Because the best opening, even in Surah Al-Nasr, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ, the real fath, the real opening is that people come to Islam. And that was the purpose of this. And now the Sahaba sees clearly that the agreement of Hudaybiyah was an opening. So this was revealed, and after 1 year and a half, they conquered Mecca because of this agreement. So this was the opening. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed us, like we can see with this story, that sometimes we can see the opening. Sometimes we are in a difficulty. We see the situation that we are in. It's not an opening. It's something difficult, but it can be an opening if we stay patient. The opening it will maybe not happen the same day. It's not the same day. But if we will be patient, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through a calamity, He can gift us, He can wrap us a gift behind this calamity, and after our patience, we'll be content. So this is the name Al-Fattah. Also, what we can learn of this name is that He finds a way to every solution if you trust in Him. We can see, like, for example, He find a way for Zakaria alayhi salam. When he had the good intention to have a child, Ya Allah, I want a child because I fear for the next generation. He gave him a child. He asked Allah, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him. Also, Musa alayhi salam, he said to Bani Israel, when Fir'aun was behind them and with his soldiers, they was scared. But he said, La kalla inna ma ya rabbi sahdin. He said, no, don't be scared. Allah is with me and he will guide me. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed to Musa alayhi salam, split the sea, and he find a way to them. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also say, I am what my servants think of me. So when we are in a difficult situation, when we feel depressed, when we feel anything, we should we should ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first, because it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that have the keys for my heart. If I feel sad, Allah can give me joy. If I'm depressed, Allah can relieve this from my heart. Anything, any situation that we're in, we have to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, I am what my servant thinks of me. So if you think that I can't relieve that illness, if you think that I can't provide for you, then go ask the others. Why are you asking me? If you don't think it's me, ask others. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, some of us we think little of Allah. We don't have to think little of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened doors, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most merciful. So we should always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala constantly. We should always ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I will finish with this inshallah. We should also, the delay that Allah put, like his delay does not mean his denial. When we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should not lost hope, because sometimes we lost hope after 1 year when we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but we will never lost more hope that Zakaria asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 100 years. We'll never lost more hope that Nuh alayhi salam, who did da'wah for 950 years. We'll never lose more hope than the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who buried his mother, his son, his uncle. Will never lost hope as that point. So always have good, like, be patient. Allah he answer all the dua, and he opened the doors. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to open our hearts to his names and attributes, and to the sincerity, and to all the good. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.